hands together for them. Let's put our hands together for them. Let's celebrate them. Let's celebrate them. This is wonderful. This is beautiful. I will start from here. You tell us your details. Then we move forward. Okay.
And I'm here contesting for the prestigious Queen of Peace, Nigeria. Peace can be seen as a state of stability, harmony, and inner calm, and the absence of war, violence, and insecurity. I am driven to contest for Queen of Peace to put meaningful, peaceful.
Put our hands together for her.
Good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, Nigerians. Owamano, Ogudenu, Edenu, Ojogunu. I am the current Queen of Peace, Delta State, contesting for this prestigious crown for the Queen of Peace, Nigeria International. And I believe that peace is the absence of violence, rivalry, and conflict. Together, I believe we can do great. Peace is what we need. And peace begins with a smile. Let's smile at each other today. Thank you.
Promoting peace need to be loudest. And we all agreed, and that was how we got the brand registered. We've been doing some very wonderful peace advocacy programs, sensitizations, and awareness. But the truth is, no man is an island. Everybody wants peace. Peace is the only commodity that is needed worldwide, yet it is scarce. Needed because from the nucleus family, you want peace with your immediate family. Parents want peace with their wards, their children. Children want peace with their siblings. Communities want peace with their leaders. Leaders want peace with their community members. So how do we promote peace? The easiest way to promote peace is by smiling at someone. Say sorry when the time is needed for you to say sorry. Do you know who I am? It's an energy for creating conflict. When you shun violence and you are humane in your activities, you are humble, you have ability to say sorry at the slightest provocation, there will be peace in our country. When leaders are responsible to their responsibilities, there will be peace in our dear country. But the moment leaders begin to live extravagant lives, leaders begin to play with the mindset and the intellectual know-how of our citizens, tempers will rise. And when tempers rise, curtailing it will be so difficult. But when leaders knows the pain of what the citizens are going through, when leaders know when to call it off, when arrogant display of wealth by some selected leaders is being controlled, then definitely there will be peace in our country. One of the ways to also control and to sensitize and to promote peaceful coexistence is by knowing your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? Your neighbor is someone that your action affects, positively or negatively. But your immediate neighbor is someone that lives next door to you. If you see something, say something. Share intelligence with our security agencies. Make sure you know who is your next door neighbor. If you see strange faces, share them with your gatekeepers. And who are your gatekeepers? Your gatekeepers are people that are saddled with the authority to make everywhere peaceful. In communities, we have the chiefs, we have the student union leaders, we have the market women. We have so many of them. Make sure you identify with them and also identify with any union that you belong to as a tribe in Nigeria. Tonight is the 2024-2025 edition of the Queens of Peace Nigeria International. And you're going to be seeing some selected, wonderful, young, intelligent-looking young ladies whom we have groomed for the past 2 weeks. They resume camp on the 14th of this month, and they've been mentored, tutored on ADR, fundamental human rights. So many of them don't know their rights, but in camp they were mentored and tutored. And tonight you'll be seeing some displays from these ladies. We're going to be crowning 10 out of the selected ones. If you don't see your state on stage tonight, that means she was evicted while she was in camp. Everybody cannot make it to the finals. The Messengers of Peace solemnly sponsored these young ladies, both in accommodation, feeding, lectures, and lectures. Our partners, 7 of this month, just responded yesterday. A culture not to have our hall filled for our event, but because we're skeptical, we're not sure if the event will happen today or not. That is why. Our usual venue is the International Conference Center in Garki, but because the Honorable Minister in his wisdom is renovating that place to suit international events, they gave us, but that is not why we should not hold the event. The major aspect is that contestants were in camp for the past 2 weeks. They are ready. The energy is high. You are also going to be seeing the MOPF kits. You've been watching. This is some of their content. It's another arm of what we do in the Messengers of Taught them, we train them, we equip them on how to be useful in terms of entertainment, music, whatever it is that they can do to be gainfully employed at this tender age before they can finish university service, before they start earning money. We say, no, let us start from this age to teach them on methods of improving their talent. That is why they are here. Most of the kids are in boarding school. They won't be on stage tonight, but the few ones that are going to perform tonight, they're going to wow us. So I call on all of us, please, promote peace in all your environment. Shun violence. The act of protest should be discouraged in our country. If you have any means to get angry at government, there are better ways to do that. Dialogue is the only way out. Even God is in his infinite wisdom. Before he created man, he called the Trinity and said, come, let us make man in our own image. So if there is conflict in any family, you come together and talk and discuss it, and by the grace of God, solutions will be found. Our responsibility solemnly is to pray for our leaders. No matter how good or bad leaders are, since they are saddled with the responsibility of care, we owe them a duty to pray for their well-being. God bless Nigeria. God bless the Messengers of Peace. And for the queens that are seated here tonight, we have some wonderful past queens who are seated in our midst. They will be introducing themselves shortly. But for the records, we have Queen of Peace Nigeria 2019. She's seated. She flew in from Sierra Leone for this event. We have Queen Amaka in the house. Queen of Peace Nigeria 2023. We have our wonderful one and only Queen Adejoh in the house. Queen of Peace. As I call your name, can you just wave? Let them see you. Queen Adejoh, Queen of Peace International. Queen, excuse me, Queen Amaka, Queen of Peace 2023. We have Queen Maureen, outgoing Queen of Peace North Central. And we have the Queen of Peace Nigeria 2019 in the building. We equally have the matron of the Queens of Peace, the woman that has taken her time to make sure these children are mentored, Chief Dr. Rita Daniels, Regina Daniels' mother. She's in the building. She has been a wonderful mentor to the Queens. Day before yesterday, she walked into the camp of the Queens around 1 a.m. and she woke all of them up and she made sure they wrote their final exams around 1 a.m. So the queens will be coming out, and when they come out, we want you to support them. Starting from tonight, power is going to change hands. From 2023 to 2024 queens, we call on all Nigerians to please support these young ladies. We are crowning 6 from 6 geopolitical zones. We're equally crowning one as the lead queen, Queen of Peace Nigeria. We'll be crowning another one, the Queen of Peace International. She will be responsible for the well-being of Nigerians in the diaspora, working closely with NIDO, Nigerians in diaspora. Then we have the face of the Messengers of Peace, another brand. Then finally, we have the Queens of Peace Teens, who is responsible liaising with the youth of Nigeria. These ladies have been groomed, seriously groomed. And tonight, my take home is this: any leader that fails to take his loot to his roots for the purpose of developing his roots should be rooted out by the youth of that community. God bless Nigeria. God bless the Messengers of Peace.
Let me start by apologizing on behalf of the Mandate Secretary, Honorable Ibrahim Aminu, who would have loved to be here this evening. In fact, he was here till about 6 o'clock or thereabouts, that he now had to go for another assignment. And that was when he mandated me to represent him. So, on behalf of the Social Development Secretariat, we want to congratulate the organizers of this event and to congratulate our queens who have taken up the mantle to promote the message that not only Nigeria, but that the world needs. Like they've said severally, peace is an essential commodity that is missing in our society. And that is why there is so much upheaval. That is why there is so much trouble all around the world. We are all conversant with what is happening in our nation, and even all around us, in the West Coast, West African countries, even in the Middle East. We know what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. We know what the Middle East is saying now, Israel, Lebanon, and the rest of them. So we can't get enough of the clamor for peace. Peace starts from the self. You must first have peace within yourself before you can send peace to someone else. So we must first come to terms with ourselves. Peace cannot exist where there is no tolerance. Peace cannot exist where there is no understanding. Peace cannot be where people cannot stand each other. So the first responsibility, which is what the Social Development Secretariat tries to do through all its different arms, is to promote that unity. It's important that we know each other. If we have enough information about each other, we will be able to live with each other. Our biggest problem is you hear people live on hearsays. Somebody said something about this tribe. So person said that about this tribe. And we use those generalizations to act, and it becomes a problem. If you take pains as a Yoruba man to know who the Igbo man is, you will live in peace with him. If you as an Igbo man take pains to understand who the Fulani man is, you will discover he's your best friend. But we don't bother to know about each other. We don't learn about each other, we just act based on what people say, hearsays. So I want to encourage us, just as our ladies have said this evening, that we need to start tolerating. We need to start understanding. We need to start knowing about ourselves, because knowledge is power. So on behalf of the Social Development Secretariat, we want to congratulate all our participants this evening, and like they say, may the best man win. I want to congratulate Dr. Adejoh on this wonderful event. Like he said earlier,